Welcome to the Sale Salvos. We trust that you'll be blessed by this week's video.
This morning, I hope you can forgive me, and especially Russell and Annette, because every time you seem to come, I seem to be preaching and I'm doing something weird. So I apologise in advance. But today, I'm not going to preach. There is no three-point sermon. I have nothing that's specifically biblically grounded that will impart you with much wisdom for the rest of your week. And I hope you can forgive that fact. But I could probably bring up thousands of sermons about why it's important to give, where the biblical foundations of tithes and offering came from, why Jesus cared, what global neighbours mean, and I'm pretty sure most of you here could probably do that too. I thought instead something I could do for you today is to tell you about the country that we're focusing on. Tell you about the people, tell you about what they went through, tell you about why it matters so much to me, because it does, and you'll probably start to see that soon. Because maybe, if you know more about the country, then you'll feel more strongly about the money that you're giving. Maybe it will mean something to you. So I thought we would start with a quiz to see how much you know about the country. And I do have prizes that I put down somewhere. I have little elephants, hand-painted. They're really cute. So, first question. What was Sri Lanka formerly known as? Ceylon. Did you come give out my prizes and be my lovely assistant? Okay. Sri Lanka was formerly known as Ceylon. It changed in 1972 to be Sri Lanka. Most cricket commentators call it Sri Lanka. That really bugs me. It's Sri Lanka. And if you learn nothing else from my sermon, it's Sri Lanka. Lanka. Anyway, I'll move on. What animal is found on the Sri Lankan flag? A lion. Thank you, Belinda. It is a lion and it is holding a sword. I didn't bring my flag out just so you didn't get to cheat off me. What languages are primarily spoken in the country? There are 3. English. Can you name the other 2?
Sri Lankan.
No. Tamil. English, Tamil, and? No. Nope, that's Indian. Nope. No. That's not a language. It starts with S.
Spanish.
No, not Spanish. Sinhalese. English, Sinhalese, and Tamil. Or Sinhala. What is the main religion of Sri Lanka?
Islam.
No.
Cricket.
And the main religion may be cricket, yes, but what is the main religion that has a god that isn't a ball and a bat? No. Buddhism. Buddhism. What is the currency of Sri Lanka? Cricket. It's like in Sunday school when the answer was always Jesus, is the answer to just cricket. The rupee, it is the rupee, very good. I was going to get you the conversion rate, but it's ridiculous, so you don't want to know. Which ocean surrounds the island? The Indian Ocean, yes, very good.
Oh, no.
Over there in it. Sri Lanka is known for exporting tea, coffee,
That's the one I knew.
tea, coffee, rubber, and cinnamon, but only one of them is native to the island. Which one?
Tea.
No. Tea came from England. Cinnamon, yes.
Who was that?
Cinnamon is the only one that is native. What is the national sport of Sri Lanka?
Cricket.
No!
Football.
No.
Rugby.
No. It was declared in 1991. No. I love this one because everyone thinks they know. It's volleyball. Volleyball is the national sport. I'm pretty sure we've got that. This one is easy because we've just talked about it already. What natural disaster occurred on the 26th of December 2004? Yeah. Approximately 40,000 people died. Approximately 40,000 people died or are still missing, and over 800,000 people were affected, losing their houses or having suffered serious injuries. Between what wars was the country's internal war fought, and between whom?
What years?
What years and between whom? No, it was an internal war.
The Tamils and the Dutch.
The Tamils and the Sinhalese. The Tamil Tigers fought for the north and the Sinhalese government fought for the south. It happened between 1983 and 2009. True or false? Sri Lanka had the first democratically elected female head of government.
True.
True! Hallelujah. Born in 1916, Sirimava Bandaranaike was elected Prime Minister of Sri Lanka in 1960 and was actually the world's first democratically elected female head of state. And she served 3 times as the Prime Minister and was the Prime Minister during my time there. What is the national flower of Sri Lanka? This is the last question. National flower. My daughter is a little bit of a hint.
Lily.
It's a water lily. Nil Mahanal is the water lily in English and is the national flower of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, formerly known as Ceylon, is an island nation south of India. It has a population of 20 million people. And it's like the size of Tasmania. It's tiny, but it's an island nation. It was torn apart by a civil war which lasted for more than 25 years. More than 100,000 people lost their lives, and countless children were orphaned as a result of the war. The Salvation Army in Sri Lanka has 44 corps, 4,327 senior soldiers, 883 adherents, 138 officers, 8 hostels and 22 social service centres, and has been in the country since the 26th of January 1883. My family has more than 40 years of history with this country and its people, and it is our second home. So in 2 weeks' time, you've got retired Majors Graham and Mary Curran coming up to speak to you. They first went to Sri Lanka in the 70s. They spent about 20 years as missionaries there. They went and did various roles as property and what's the other one I'm looking for? Personnel and sponsorship secretaries. And they also started a children's home up in Jaffna when the war started to break out. So one of those children's homes that you saw in that video, my grandparents ran one for a while. And I'm sure Grandma will tell you more about that when she comes to speak to you. My dad was 6 when they got to the country, and him and his brother, my Uncle Graham, were moved to boarding school in India because that was the safest place for them to be. They spent all of their childhood in that boarding school in the south of India at Hebron, and they would come home in the school holidays if it was safe to do so, and if my grandparents had the funds to bring them home. At that stage, if you were an officer in Sri Lanka, you got the salary of an officer in Sri Lanka. My grandma says this was the hardest decision of her life, and one that she would never make again, to send her babies on a plane away from her in a war zone. But yet, if you know my dad, I think it's probably what made him who he is today. He's strong, he's independent, and he's so blocked off it's not even funny. But it is who he is today because of that. My dad finished high school at the ripe old age of 16, and he moved back to Australia with his brother to start life back here, not really knowing what that meant. He met my mum, he got married, they had me, and in 1998 we went back to the country, still torn apart by the war. I was 7 when we first got there, and I was 9 when we left. And for a 7 to 9-year-old, it's a very interesting environment. You don't know much about what's happening with the war, do you? And yet, I kind of got the general idea. Everywhere you went, it was hot, it was sticky, there was people everywhere. There weren't many white people in the country at the time, so I was this weird oddity with like slightly blonde hair and pale skin, walking around. Our very first week there, we went to one of those children's homes, and they served up a massive feast. as they always do, and I ate what would probably have been the hottest curry to date in my life. My mouth was on fire, I was just panicking because I was 7 and in a weird country and eating weird food. And the little girls there decided to play a trick on me, because they were mean or funny, I don't know which one. And they decided to give me some pineapple. I don't know what you know about the do's and don'ts of eating curry and what you should or shouldn't eat to ease the pain, but citrus fruit is not on the list of food you should eat to ease the pain. In fact, it makes it worse. So there I was, a little 7-year-old, thinking I was dying, with the local children laughing their heads off at me. There was another feast we had later on that they tried really, really hard to cater for me, and so they got chips, and they were cold. But when they left the room, because they always left when we went to eat, the chips were covered in ants, live ants. And my parents sat down and said, "Alexis, eat." And so we ate. Live ants, because that's what you do when somebody has given all they have for you to have food. I went to the International School of Colombo, which other than me was a school for expats' children and the very rich and famous government officials, and their children all went there. In order to get to the school, you had to very nonchalantly walk through a security centre. There was 4-metre-high blue brick walls with spikes on the top of them. And surrounding the school, there was about a team of 20 soldiers and security officers. It seems a little bit overdramatic for a bunch of kids, but the two things you need to know about that is that it was 7 kilometres from our house to my school. It took about an hour on average to get there. You went through about 5 security checkpoints to get to the school. There was army tanks and guns the whole way along. At least 5 tanks per day was my usual count. And the second point is that while I was there for 2 whole years, there was at least a dozen bomb attacks that I know of, each one ripping out a piece of the road and killing numerous civilians' lives. It was a country at war, and I was a young naive child that knew nothing about it other than the fact that there were guns on every street corner and it wasn't safe to go outside. During the week I would go to the mansions of my friends and I would swim in their pools and I'd be taken care of by their nannies. And on the weekends my parents took me to rural Sri Lanka, where you had to hike to get anywhere, where there was no electricity, there was no furniture, there was people dying of diseases that the Western world had eradicated years before. There was one strip on the island, it was about 20 k's long, and this was the strip where most of the fighting happened. At night, the Tamil Tigers would come down from one side, and the Sinhalese government would come up from the other side, and in this 20-kilometre strip they'd fight and die. And then when the sun rose, the bodies would be taken away, the wounded were taken to hospitals. Everyone would go back to their checkpoint, and cars were allowed to go through. That's what happened when there's a war and you've still got to get on with your country. My dad was in his early 30s at the time, and he had to go through this road to get up to the top of the country, up to Jaffna, which is up here. And Colombo is down here. So he was driving on this road with a man who he sees as an uncle. His name is Malcolm Ndoroge. He was the territorial leader a few years ago of the country. But they were driving through this road and they got to the checkpoint, and Malcolm was taken out of the car at gunpoint and told to take their licenses and their passports. Taken off. My dad was driving because he's like that. Half an hour went by and Dad says he was wondering what to do next. Had they taken Malcolm? What were they going to do? Was he just supposed to sit there in the middle of the road? And all of a sudden Malcolm came back as white as a sheet. Now this is a man that is one of the darkest men I've ever met in my life, and Dad said he was pale as could be. Dad got in the car, Malcolm got in the car, sat down and said to Dad, "Drive. Don't move, just drive." As Dad pulled out, cars flanked them, and they took them up past this 20k strip. Then they got to the checkpoint and they just kept going. The armed forces moved away. And they kept driving for about 10 kilometres, Dad says, until Malcolm said, "Okay, pull over." And Dad did. The story is that when they saw Dad's passport, they thought he looked like Steve Waugh. And therefore, he was Steve Waugh. And because cricket is so important in Sri Lanka, they weren't going to kill Steve Waugh. So they gave him armed police out of the most dangerous part of Sri Lanka so that he could get to Jaffna. My dad was younger and thinner then, but I'm not sure he looked like Steve Waugh. But one white man looks like another white man too. So Steve Waugh got safely through the most dangerous part of the country, yet again proving that there are some serious angels looking after my family. We left Sri Lanka in 2000 after surviving the Y2K bug. I don't know if it was as big a deal here, but in Sri Lanka everyone was convinced they were going to die. That was the end of the war because the Y2K bug was going to chuck you out. We came back to the eastern suburbs of Melbourne, to a very mundane life, which was very, very confusing for a 9-year-old after experiencing what I'd seen. But our history with the country was not great. It was a pinnacle of the war. The civil war fought in Sri Lanka between the brutal liberation tigers of Tamil Eelam and the government ground on for a quarter of a century, claiming perhaps 130,000 lives is the latest estimate. In early 2008, the government launched an all-out assault on the Tamil Tigers with the aim of their unconditional surrender. Hundreds of thousands of civilians were caught up in this final offensive, trapped in a war zone that got smaller and smaller until it consisted of a narrow strip of beach between two warring sides. The UN estimates that 40,000 civilians alone died in the 5 months before the war's end, in May 2009, when the Tigers surrendered. The Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam were fighting for an independent state in the north and east of the island, and the Sri Lankan government were fighting for unity. Or, the alternative explanation, the Tamil Tigers were fighting for a right to a voice in a country that treated them as though they were very much less than equals, and the government was fighting to silence them. Regardless of which explanation you go with, the war lasted for 25 years, 9 months, 3 weeks, and 4 days. It ended in the forced surrender of the Tigers and a decisive victory. Following the end of the war, the Sri Lankan government claimed Sri Lanka as the first country in the modern world to eradicate terrorism on its soil. Can you go through some pictures for me now? Those are the tents up the background that I was talking about after the tsunami. Go down. Go down again. And again. In 2004, after the tsunami had torn through the country and displaced thousands of people, Sinhalese and Tamil alike, because natural disasters don't decide who they're going to kill. Government organisations like World Vision went to the East Coast and built new houses for some of the victims. You go down. And the picture you see here is what happened less than 12 months later. The war took back what the tsunami had started. The dents in the side of the buildings are bullet holes. Thousands of people were once again displaced, and more than 12 years after this event, the houses still stand as they were left. Can you imagine losing everything you had in a tsunami? Being built a house, and then it being taken back by the war. I don't know what I'd do. I think I'd probably give up. Can you go down? There you go. These weapons of mass destruction, all made in underground bunkers by the Tamil Tigers, today sit in the LTT Museum just out of Jaffna. The majority of weaponry used by the Tamil Tigers during the war was handmade, including things like tanks made out of buses and trucks. In the last 100 days of the war alone, it is thought that over 1,000 people died every day. But then it was all over. In In a series of catastrophic attacks to the north, the Tigers were forced to surrender, and a new peace agreement was signed and noted by both sides. On the 18th of May 2009, the final shots of the war were fired, and the country moved into its longest period of peace for more than 30 years. The war, as far as we're all concerned, is done. It finished in 2009. Good. In 2012, Simon and I went back to the country for me to introduce him to these people. And those eyes, can you see those eyes? They melt me. We went back to the country to see what it looked like for ourselves, and what we found was a nation of peace. It really is. The streets have all been cleaned up. It's no hotter than one of those stinking 45-degree days that we get in summer sometimes. That's from our hotel. It's quite beautiful. They call Sri Lanka the Garden of Eden. And I think when you see photos of it, you start to understand why. That's my friend, a dog. He joined us for dinner one night, and then he walked me safely back to our hotel. That's a hammock, as you do when the leafy villages. We did find a nation of peace, but it came with a price. The government is currently run by one family. Does that sound dangerous to you? A government run by one family? And it's run by the Sinhalese. The Tamils do not hold any position. Oh yeah, that's when all the tires were. The beggars that were on the streets were taken away, but they were taken away in buses and dealt with. This is a nation of peace, but it's a nation still on the brink. I love the video that we got to see earlier about shelter changing lives. That lady is, I call her auntie, her name is Rohini. She currently serves in India. Her life was changed by a children's home that changed the life of my family, because my grandparents adopted a little girl from the Haven, who is now living here with 2 children and is an officer. Shelter changes lives. These children's homes are full of babies and children who don't have family, but they have hope, they have education, they have food, they have shelter. The money you give through the self-denial appeal goes to children who've lost their parents in war, who are too poor to take care of them. It goes to families that need it most. And I didn't want to stand up here today and make you feel incredibly guilty about this country or feel like you have to give your life savings. That's really not it at all whatsoever. But I wanted to tell you about this country that means something to me. Let you see the eyes of that little boy, because he could be your grandchildren. He could be my son. He could be my daughter. He could be my son-in-law, in which case I'd have caramel grandbabies, and I'm very happy with that thought. Sri Lanka is a country at peace, but it's still a country at war. The Salvation Army does great work in that country, but they cannot do it on the salaries that they have. They rely on donations from people like us. I think I found a figure the other day that $10, 10 Australian dollars, will put a kid through school for the whole year and feed them. 1 week's salary is a really, really big deal, and it's one I don't want you to take lightly. But 10 Australian dollars can change the life of a child in this country. Psalm 46 talks about coming to me and getting shelter, that God will end the war. And I've got to tell you that this country has faith beyond anything I could imagine. I can't think about going into a church where my home has been destroyed and family members have been killed and praising God that He is almighty and powerful. But they do. They believe in God far stronger than I ever could. The thing I want you to get most out of today is that it's Sri Lanka, not Sri Lanka. But it's a country of hope. It's a country of love. And it's a country that if you ever get the chance to see or visit, is paradise for the soul. Us coming today and us talking about God is really, really important. But we also have to remember what other people do and how other people praise God. And that's all. That's all I have for you. This country is not done with my DNA. If Simon and I go back, I'll be the third generation of my family to step foot and serve a country that is in our plans eventually, but I'm not leaving sail for like that, so you're stuck there. But this country means something to us. And I hope in our time here, if not this country, but then another one will mean something to you. Because it's our job as Salvationists and as children of God to care about these people and to love them and to support them in our prayers and with our love. And when we can, with our $10, which will change their lives forever.